If your property manager is stuck at 100 to 500 doors, you're probably feeling very frustrated that more doors doesn't actually mean that it's more profitable. You're probably facing that having more doors means that more problems, which means that you need to hire more people. And the truth is, accounting flow just gets very messy. I used to be in that position until I cracked this code, and this would literally allow me to scale up to 800 units with only 3 employees. You don't actually have a manpower issue, you have an accounting flow issue. So in today's video, I'm going to break down 4 common accounting issues that you're probably facing right now. And watch until the end because I'm going to review 3 solutions to solve those problems so that you can keep scaling without adding more payroll. After scaling up to 800 units with only 3 steps, I realized this industry is teaching the accounting completely wrong. The very first one is that if you're thinking of your property management software is all-in-one software, this is literally setting up for failure. I learned that very early on that Buildium, AppFolio, Propertyware, and all those property management software, as much as they're trying to get all the users to do everything in one platform, it's just not feasible. They're an accounting software to manage your trust account, trust ledger, and your lease ledger, and not really user-friendly for company financials, interactive with your landlords and tenants and all that stuff. So they're very much accounting first type of software. And as much as they try to put all the user in one platform by offering different type of functions, it's just never that user-friendly. A lot of times we end up using Google Calendar because it's just a lot easier to manage with the vendor repairs and scheduling with your in-house technician. And most of the time we don't log into property management software to communicate with the tenants or landlords if we need to get them on call. We use a different type of software. And this is how you end up creating so many different branches in your operation. And even worse is that the moment that you have a project that you're managing, you don't actually try to use property management software to manage that. You end up having software like QuickBooks to manage your entire company finance. And this is why having that all-in-one mentality for any property management software is going to cap you at maybe 100, 150 doors. The friction of the software is going to be so much higher that you're concerned about onboarding new clients wherever you have an opportunity. Okay, so very first step with this specific issue is that you need to actually start isolating the issues. And don't be afraid of using multiple different platforms for your operation. Property management software is not an operating platform for your entire business. The second problem that we're facing right now is that now that you create a company level financials or software with a Buildium or Yardi, all these property management software, you end up creating 2 different systems, which they will require you to breach the data. And that means that you have to hire people to do double entry, triple entry. And this is where the margin gets chewed out. Property managers end up doing a lot more admin work. And now this is an issue because property manager is no longer managing the properties, no longer managing the relationship, it's doing the data entry, which becomes very expensive for admin work. And we're going to talk about the solution in a little bit. And the third problem is that your invoices. A lot of property managers will want to do a bit of markup based on the situation. Sometimes property managers or in-house technician gets very tied up with a job for a very long time. It's a natural progression for property managers to be adding a little bit more markup in some of the invoices. But here's the problem. Processing 5 to 10 invoices a week, it's okay, but the moment you get to 50, 100 invoices a week, that's where things get very tricky and hard to manage. Keep in mind that if you miss 1 or 2 invoices, that means that the company is paying out of the pocket. And the amount for those 2 invoices is probably equivalent to the markup for the next 10, 15 invoices that you're going to build out. And this is often another big leak for property management companies. So for example, the documentation from Gmail, all the way into uploading the Google file, all the way to having the AI. In today's market is that we have the AI to recognize or extract the invoice number, categorizing all that stuff through AI. So it's become a lot more efficient. If you don't have a very consistent flow and to ensure that all the invoices gets built out with a little bit markup every single week, you're probably going to feel like onboarding more clients is going to be a burden rather than exciting things for your business. Okay, and that leads to number 4 is that do you have a weekly P&L or monthly P&L, or are you kind of guessing that you're going to be profitable this month? Lack of the dashboard to show your weekly and monthly financials for your property management business is another reason why scaling becomes almost impossible for a lot of property managers. And you can't do that with any property management software. It's just not possible. I tried that multiple times and it just failed miserably over and over again. So let me give you 3 solutions to solve all these 4 problems so that you can continue to scale without any stress. Number 1, you shouldn't be processing any invoices manually anymore. You need to have one email dedicated to the invoice. It can be invoice at yourcompanyname.com or ap@yourcompany.com. And the only thing you do for this inbox is taking all the invoices. It gets separated from everything else that you're doing so that you can stay focused on dealing with this workflow. And the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to use an AI agent to review literally all the details with each invoice and bring that data into a Google Sheet. So that it's very easy for you to look at a spreadsheet and know exactly what's being billed out and what's being invoiced. Once you have a dedicated Gmail to receive all the invoices, now we're going to be building the AI agent to review every single invoice that comes into the Gmail. Then this AI agent will bring all the necessary information into a Google Sheet, and this Google Sheet is going to be our new dashboard. And what I love about this process is that AI agent can actually read the handwritten notes better than human being right now. They can identify the property address, they can see the word description, they can enter everything out for you so that you don't have to manually type them out. They're also going to bring the numbers into the Google Sheet and also see if there's any duplicates of invoices for the same properties. And this is really a game changer because you no longer have to be watching out for invoices. What my AI agent does is that it also goes into the property management software. We use Buildium to take the Buildium task ID into the Google Sheet. And this part is really crucial because it solves the rest of the accounting process for me. And once this is all built out and I can trust the system, now that I have a dashboard, I can see clearly exactly how much money that I need to be paying out to vendors at the end of this week. And step number 2 that I built is that I have a payroll agent watching exactly how I enter all those information. I'm gonna go in there, review all the invoices, and make sure those amounts are actually correct. Now, as an owner, typically I can tell the invoice number, whether or not those numbers actually make sense. And this is where I do a quick manual check or QC on the amount, on the vendors, the parties, and all that stuff. And from here, there's another column that I created for myself where I enter the amount plus the markup. And this part will save so much time because you're no longer looking at one invoice at a time. Because sometimes when you're so deep in the operation, you forget or you get distracted. And this is how human error happens. All I need to do is to go through everything, enter my numbers, click ready to post, and my payroll agent now will take these data into the next process, which is posting into Buildium, updating the task, writing a check, and even post it into my QuickBooks. And this is how easy it is to check everything in one glance. And it only takes less than 30 minutes a week for me to process all the invoices, knowing that it's all going to be done correctly and I can fully trust the system. Now, I'm not going to stop right here because as a business owner, I still want to be out of the entire operation. This is the financial side of things, which is really important, but I still want to eventually hand it off to operation manager or finance manager. So here's what I did. I created another step to show me the weekly P&L and monthly P&L. So as soon as all these processes is done, now step number 3 is I created another dashboard for myself. This is for weekly P&L, monthly P&L to show me exactly how much money we made each week. And this part is really important because I get to see how much money that we pay out to invoice, and then the next line is how much money we charge to the owner and actually get posted on Buildium. And this is all successful posts, which means that the money actually flowing live this way. And once I have this number, I only need to see the positive numbers every single week, and only when I see a negative balance, this is where I will call the meeting and do a further investigation on the entire accounting flow. So having the AI agent as a step number 1 to sort out all the invoices, having the payroll agent to post everything for you, and having the QC agent to assess whether or not you're actually profitable on a weekly basis or monthly basis is truly how you should be managing your accounting flow. Once you have all of this, your property manager, your operation manager is no longer managing accounting. They are managing properties, they are managing relationships. And that's how you can truly scale your property management business without adding more payroll and headache. If you find some value in this video, like and subscribe. And if you want to know how I manage my maintenance flow, give this video a watch.